it's Nardwuar, the human serviette at coming up, my interview with Jack Antonoff. Does anybody want a photo? Another pose? What about another point? Do you want point? Do you want a point? What about your own camera? What about your own? That's it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I've been watching you for my whole life.
Oh, thank you.
I love your work.
I really appreciate it. Yeah, just keep on going here and take a right and straight through. The Nard Hut. Look at the Nard Hut.
Cool.
This is the Nard Hut.
Nardwuar. 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 Nardwuar.
Who are you?
Jack Antonoff.
Jack, welcome to Coachella.
Thank you.
Right off the bat, Jack, I thought I would give you a gift right here, an Idol Race LP from 1968, an original Idol Race, featuring...
Hold on. Well, this looks like Al Cooper, but it's not. Hold on a second.
Featuring Jeff,
Lynne?
his first band, the Idol Race,
Oh my God.
from 1968.
Nardwuar, I don't know this, and Jeff Lynne has been so on my mind the past 2 weeks.
It's so important to you.
There's some stuff coming out specifically. It's going to be a minute, but when it does, I'll have to contact you because it was so specifically Jeff Lynne, Xanadu album inspired. This is wild.
So this is an early Jeff Lynne.
Yeah,
What?
I don't know about this, but for a second I thought that this was Al Cooper. And it's clearly not. It's Jeff Lynne. But Jeff Lynne and Al Cooper are my two. They live in every part of me.
I love ELO too, and I have a gift for you, an ELO 7-inch uncolored vinyl.
This is wild. This is really special. Nardwuar, these are serious gifts.
That's for you, only the best for Jack.
Antonoff, these are very serious gifts.
What can you say about that era of ELO, that era of Jeff Lynne?
I think it's really hard to get maximal and still make it. It's like, let's say they don't sound alike, but what I like about Jeff Lynne is what I like about Dexy's Midnight Runner, right? It's like this chaotic thing, and you don't know if it's going to go off the tracks, but it doesn't. So it's like it's just very hard to layer and layer and layer without shitting on the whole thing. And Jeff Lynne is the god of that.
And that's a gift for you, some colored vinyl as well.
The vinyl is beautiful, and I really love. It's.
You have that 7-inch, or
I don't have the 7-inch.
you're kind of a collector scum. You have lots of stuff, right?
Only scum, but yes.
Babu.
Yeah, but I love this. This is very special to me.
And that's a gift for you.
This will be one of the things that I sort of, not leave in alphabetical order, but really put out front and display.
So you are Jack Antonoff. I am the king of Coachella.
I feel like I'm happy to be here.
Didn't somebody say I'm the king of Coachella?
Oh my God, how do you know this?
Well, you are Jack Antonoff. We have to know it.
Okay, do I tell the story?
Please, go ahead.
Long time ago, there was a song called We Are Young, and there was a producer making that song who was also working on Watch the Throne. And we were told that the chorus was taken and that Jay-Z and Kanye had made the song. And we said, what? And we were like, oh, this is crazy. It's a million years ago. Song comes out on the leaked track listing, and then it gets removed. The story I heard was that Jay-Z thought it was too pop, which he may have been right because it ended up becoming a big pop song. But I've never heard this song. And there's all these rumors, and from someone, maybe it was someone at Rock Nation down the line, the one bit of information I got to hear about the Jay-Z version of We Are Young is that at some point he shouts something like, lighters up, I'm the king of Bonnaroo, I'm the king of Coachella. And I don't think I'll ever hear this song. And at this point, I don't want to.
But now you're here at Coachella, ready to unleash.
I'm going to go fucking ape shit. I'm really going to go wild. I really am. You know why? I just feel it. I feel ready to. I feel like I just feel fucking ready to. I really feel ready to. I'm not going to say I'm the king of Coachella. That's like more of like a Jay-Z statement. And also, what does that mean? I don't want to be the king of Coachella. I'm happy to be here.
Quote, I met you in the 3rd grade. I didn't know you liked lemon
Pepper?
8. Red sweater. By the Aqua?
Oh, well, I never, whatever, and that red sweater. Oh, yeah, red sweater by the Aquabats.
Pizza Day.
Pizza Day. Gate?
Pizza Day.
Gate.
Raza Pizza.
Gate.
Raza
Pizza
Gate.
in
New
Jersey
Ra.
City.
What do you think about Raza Pizza? Amazing. Raza Pizza.
I'll tell you what I think. I think about Raza Pizza the same thing I think about many things that New York is famous for. They're better in New Jersey. The best pizza in New York City is in Jersey City.
But what can you say about Raza Pizza, though?
Raza, I could say that we collaborated on a tomato sauce.
What was in it?
To be honest, I just tasted different ones. I thought that one's great. I don't like too much garlic in the sauce. I think garlic is something that should add to something. It shouldn't be the flavor. I think garlic is the flavor. It's a bit like Jeff Lynne production making a sauce.
Back to the Aquabats. You saw them at the Wayne Firehouse?
Yeah, were you just listening to me? I just was with the Aquabats and Sublime. And Sublime's manager is Doot from the Vandals. And we were talking about this whole time period, and I was talking about the Wayne Firehouse. I was just fucking doing that. Was someone with me?
Well, you are Jack Antonoff. We have to know.
Wait, I did see them at the Wayne Firehouse.
What was that like?
The Wayne Firehouse was a place in New Jersey where I thought it was normal because I was a kid, but it wasn't. I saw Boy Sets Fire. I saw At the Drive-In. I saw Early Get Up Kids, Lifetime, Saves the Day. It was fucking Kid Dynamite, 25 to Life, Earth Crisis. Just all this shit was going on there. And we'd go every weekend, and we'd see the local bands, and we'd see the touring bands. The Aquabats were the first time I ever saw a tour bus. I think it's because a combination of success and quantity of them, but I remember going to the Wayne Firehouse, and there was a tour bus, and I thought, what the fuck is that? It was cool.
Around this time, what can you say about this poster from the NJPP archives?
This is huge. Okay, we have a benefit show. I don't know who we're benefiting.
Brian Deneke.
Brian Deneke. $7, Wayne Firehouse. Day 19 was a great ska band. Outline was my band. We sounded a lot like Kid Dynamite. Paid in full, I remember. Random Task was Evan, who was in Steel Train, his band. I remember this show. This was a great show. Wayne Firehouse had a small room and a big room. So this would have been the small room, and at this time, the culture was very much like we were just going completely apeshit. This is wild. This is really... I know you are a deep diver, and have always been, but this is really wild.
Lanemeyer.
All right, let's go. When it's over. Oh, I sampled them in a song, and I haven't told them yet. The song's not out, but I have to go get their permission because I've been subtly working on this album that that involves some things from that scene. They had this line, "God, I miss you," and "God, I miss this place" from their big album at the time, and it's just brilliant.
Would you like to ask for permission right now, Jack?
Well, I mean, they'll get the there's a call coming, and Doyle, Rob, I want to work it out.
Humble Beginnings, the Taxi Cab Samurais.
Humble Beginnings were a seminal band at that time. Humble Beginnings were completely brilliant. I was just talking about this with the Aquabats. The biggest band in the world was NoFX. There was a time in culture when I didn't see anything outside of that. I saw Fat Records as the biggest label in the world, and I completely missed when 50 Cent was putting out records and when System of a Down made Toxicity and things like that because I was so entrenched in that scene.
After the gigs that you played, Grease Trucks, New Jersey, famous for the grease trucks. What are grease trucks in New Jersey?
Well, we would go to diners. The grease trucks are more of like a morning thing for like construction workers. The thing about Jersey is that we would go to diners and we would just hang there all night. Specifically, there was all these weird scenes. There was the diner scene, and then there was the parking lot of Applebee's. For some reason, that was a huge scene. Not to keep bringing up At the Drive-In, but I remember hanging out with At the Drive-In at the parking lot of Applebee's, and it was just where we were. I was like, 15.
It's really cool looking at pictures of your studio that you took on tour, and all these posters were up in it.
Yeah. Well, I just used to...
Could you explain that? It wasn't sort of like like actually in a trailer. You recreated.
Bedroom, yeah. I liked the idea that I could make no money on the tour. I liked the idea that I could bring people into the space where I wrote the music. So I kind of literally just cut out the walls and fixed it into a trailer, and then everything was like super glued into place. It felt very sad some of the time. It was very powerful, but all those old show flyers, I'm a real natural collager everywhere.
And I have a gift for you. Speaking of New York hardcore, we have right here a bobblehead from Agnostic Front. New York hardcore.
I'm going to tell you something about Agnostic Front that you wouldn't imagine, which is that one of the guys in Agnostic Front became a publicist, right? Do you know this? And he does the press for St. Vincent. And one time I went to a St. Vincent show and had this huge argument it was me and Thomas Bartlett, who goes by Doveman, is brilliant, were arguing that Tom Waits is one of the greatest artists of all time. And then this other guy, it wasn't Vinny, but someone else from his Agnostic Front was sort of, Tom Waits, and we had this huge fucking argument about the importance of his songwriting. So Agnostic Front is a great band, but that's the part I think about when I think about Agnostic Front. I think about Tom Waits.
Also on your wall, I noticed a Minor Threat VHS in the wall of the studio.
Yeah, I think it was that. There was this guy named Rick to Life. Do you remember that 25 to Life? They were like a very straight edge. I think they were from Long Island, and Rick to Life had dreads and every inch of his body covered in tattoos. And he would come to shows with a big box of tapes, and they were just all these different bootlegs. And I bought an Avail live set, a Fast Times live set, Kid Dynamite live set, and this Minor Threat tape from him.
Well, I thought to return you to the studio, I'd give you another gift here, Jack. Minor Threat, the new 7-inch, some out-of-step outtakes.
This is wild. And
Outtakes.
This is crazy, and this came out last year, huh?
Whole bunch of liner notes as well, and clear vinyl.
Oh, really? Oh, isn't that beautiful? You know, I think beyond the music obviously being brilliant, all the imagery of Minor Threat reminded me so much when I was growing up. It looked so much like the Wayne Firehouse and the Boonton Elks Lodge and the M&M Hall, and I felt so connected to it as a kid.
But yeah, that is a gift for you, connected to...
Is it normal to get this many gifts?
Yes, because you are Jack Antonoff. We have to give gifts.
I feel like when I watch your program, it's usually one gift.
We mix it up. We're also in Coachella, and I live in Vancouver, Canada. So it's good to leave gifts in Coachella because it's a long trek back to
Oh, that's
Vancouver.
Lindia. Yes.
Vancouver, Canada.
Canada. I love it. I went there once and went to Wreck Beach. But I didn't take my clothes off. I didn't want to. There was a man, I'll never forget, naked playing an acoustic bass, which outside of the Violent Femmes is one of the more offensive instruments. And I could see his penis because he was holding it up here and he was just walking around playing it. And I just thought, no way, but no way, no way.
Only in Canada.
You know, that wasn't my thought.
Okay.
My thought, it was so wild, the mixture of the acoustic bass and the penis, that I thought only on Earth. Which is how I feel about you. Only on Earth.
Well, thank you very much, Jack. I was also curious, your dad, did he help you out of your record deal?
He did. My dad, so I got...
That's very nice.
Oh, it was very nice. My parents were so, like, I never was one of those people who had to pay rent. They lent me their van to do my first tour. You know, my dad was a brilliant ragtime guitar player who studied with Reverend Gary Davis Jr., and when he graduated college, you know, this was whatever 60s energy or 70s. His father, the original Jack Antonoff, he said, "Cut your hair. You're coming to work." They had a shoe factory in Paterson, New Jersey, and so when I started making music, I was really given space to do it. But I was in this bad record deal. I couldn't get out, and my dad came to rescue the whole band.
You were on the Warped Tour. Did you win a contest? Because some bands win contests to get on a Warped Tour.
No, that one was... It felt like we lost a contest on that tour.
Baboon. Well, a lot of bands did want to play the Warped Tour. Come on.
I did, but it was at a time I had this band called Steel Train, and we signed a Drive Thru, which was a predominantly, like, pop punk label. And at that time, I got into drugs and made a hard turn away from that kind of music, and was making and I had just lost my sister, so it was very somber. I was making this somber acoustic music, and we got on Warped Tour, and we got fucked. We got, like, if there was 11 people watching us on any given day, then those 11 people were, like, screaming, like die.
Did you make any money from them?
No.
Them throwing pennies, etc.
No, but those are I don't wish to make much money from the audience. Those people I'd like to extract some money from, because I don't forgive them. I forgive everyone. I don't forgive them.
The Unlovables from New Jersey have a great song called Jersey Boy.
Yes.
And in it, they reference Taylor. In it, they reference Taylor
Ham?
Ham.
Oh!
What can you say about?
When Taylor Swift played New Jersey, the government did like a Taylor Ham fucking like meme about her, and I was explaining to her what the whole thing is. So I know the question. Here's how I feel about it. Or I've gotten the question a million times.
You explain to people like Taylor Ham, Taylor Swift.
Taylor Swift has nothing to do with it besides this image. The issue in New Jersey is Taylor ham or pork roll. All right, it's very popular in New Jersey to wake up in the morning, go to the deli or the corner store, and get a roll with egg, cheese, and Taylor ham or pork roll, which are the same thing. Okay, and it's a big question, and it has to do with what part of Jersey you're from. Everyone always asks me, and I finally landed on a good answer. You ready? Fucking nothing, because I'm not a 13-year-old member of a high school wrestling team, and I don't eat pork when I wake up.
Exactly. And I have a gift for you right here, Jack Antonoff. A pedal, a guitar boost pedal from Adam from Satellite Amps in San Diego to use on the next Taylor Swift.
Roll!
To use
I promise you, I will use this.
Check the back, like what it says.
Pretty boost built around a Fairchild. Oh, it's perfect. Yeah. Transistor was covered from a vintage Fairchild EQ product. This is wonderful. I know all about this, and this means so much to me. And I swear to you, Nardwuar, I will use this on a bunch of albums, and then they'll take some time because of the lag. But when they come out, I will contact you publicly and let you know what was used on it. Okay.
Thank you so much. And this is from Adam from Satellite Amps. He created this just for me from San Diego. The Fairchild. What can you say about the Fairchild?
Well, so there's a new thing. Well, there's the Fairchild and the Unfair Child, and so the Unfair Child is great. It's just they've gotten very expensive, but especially on anything that you want, it's hard to squash things and not kill them. And like if you think about like amazing Beatles squashing, like when you hear like those cymbals hit and they go, and they kind of like are like contained. So just the Fairchild and Unfair Child is a very specific tone that is beautiful, and this is really, you've really outdone yourself.
And you are Jack
Antonoff,
playing
Taylor Ham,
La
Nardwuar,
the
Rifflandia,
Human Serviette.
Got it. Oh, I was gonna say centimeters as soon as you said it.
Now, you mentioned diners earlier.
Yeah.
Holston's Diner.
I don't know Holston's, do I? Do you know? I feel like you know some things about me that I might not know.
I thought they had an auction for the booth that was used on Sopranos. You could actually buy that booth. You can buy that booth now.
I'm not going to, because I'm so rich with gifts. You know, I have my agnostic front bobblehead, I have my pedal, I have all my 7 inches. I at this point want for nothing.
Jack Antonoff, what about early MCR gigs at the Bloomfield?
Those were great.
What were they like?
They were just, there was a band called Shady View Terrace. There was Shady View Terrace and My Chemical Romance, and it was sort of like this, like, they were both like very dramatic and wild, and they kind of like captured the imagination of that scene, both those bands, really quickly. And then I just remember My Chemical Romance like kept getting bigger and bigger, and I knew Frank from a band called Sector 12. And
You play with them?
yeah, we played tons.
On that poster, it might have been on the poster.
Yeah, the Sector 12 were a lot of shows. All those guys were kicking around, and their first release was on Eyeball Records, which Random Task was on. The whole thing was connected. But I just remember, yeah, My Chemical Romance was getting bigger and bigger, and then all of a sudden it was like they just turned into like a really big band. And they seemed to me like those same people. I think that's why they got so big, is they just kept doing what they were always doing.
Catch 22, Mohawk Barbie.
Great bands. Catch 22 was a great ska band.
Where did they play?
They were pretty big, but all the Wayne Firehouse, everyone would just play.
Amazing there's so many places to play, because a lot of times scenes have very few places to play.
We had someone tapped into the Elks Lodges and the Legion Halls, so I used to put on shows at Teen American Legion Hall. It was $300. You know, Commander Bob was the guy who did it, and then Commander Bob and the vets would sit on the bar side and drink, and then we'd have our show. And the thing is, at this time, we were all vegan. We were all, you know, it was all food, not bombs. Every show was $5 with a can of food for a charity. It was super, super conscious, so we weren't shitheads. You know what I mean? Like, we weren't doing drugs and throwing up, and, you know, the vibe was just like, we just wanted to, like, go nuts at the show and then hang out. It was like a very like politically charged movement.
Well, it's amazing they let you do that because usually, like in other scenes, it's hard to book all because somebody had ruined it before.
Yeah, well, that was so cool. Like, I remember the only time it got dicey.
How come nobody ruined it?
Dropkick Murphys got close. They came and played Teaneck Legion Hall, and too many people showed up, and it got like there was a little bit more of that kind of like wild Irish drunk energy at that show. But our core scene was like, yeah, the most important band to us at that time was probably Propagandhi. Less Talk, More Rock had come out, and that was a really important album. So everything was about like rules and decorum and veganism and how you move around at a show. All these wild rules.
Well, you mentioned them earlier. Steel Train. Were you booed at a Finch show?
Yeah. So this time during Drive Through Records was really intense because our music, like I said, we had taken a hard left into very like folky music, and we were on tour with these like.
So it wasn't just Warped Tour?
No, they kept going, and the only tours we could get were like Finch and stuff like that. And so we would. I remember one person threw our singer Scott at the time a salt shaker and just hit him in the head. But you know what, Nardwuar, I really like wear those days as armor. There's two things I know well: opening a show and not jiving with the crowd, headlining a tour and nobody coming. And if you can find all the glory within that, because it really is like making records and touring, like. There's obviously that connection point, and it's really cool, and a lot of people show up. But like, it is something you have to do, and I did it for so many years that, and all my band all grew up like that. That it just feels like a level of armor.
Well, do you call it headlining or cleanup?
Well, we did call it headlining, but now we're gonna say Nardwuar cleanup. We do a phrase before every show. Tonight will be Nardwuar cleanup.
Well, anything else you like to add to the people out there at all, Jack?
Nothing.
Why should people care about the Bleachers? Why should people care about Jack Antonoff?
I mean, Bleachers is playing on a level that's just wild right now. But the cool thing about Bleachers is my production is there's so many eyes and ears on it that in a weird way it's allowed Bleachers to become like this like very big secret. And that's kind of cool. I feel like so many people know me from, which I love all these things that I do, but it's allowed the band to like yeah, I never thought I'd be in a band that plays Madison Square Garden that is still like a big sort of secret. And there was periods when it frustrated me, and now I'm like, oh, this is kind of our armor in a weird way that so many people are kind of it allows our fan base to be very tight knit.
Well, thanks so much, Jack Antonoff. Keep on rocking in a free world and do.
Nardwuar, you're a complete inspiration. You hold this pose while I talk about Nardwuar for a second. You're a complete inspiration, all right? And you're just the best we have, and it's a goddamn honor to be here. And I've watched you for a long time. I've discovered a lot of great music from your program, and it's just a complete honor. And next time I'll come see you in Canada, and maybe we can get Ron Sixsmith on the show and explain to him that I'm not Albert Hammond Jr. And we should get the guy with the dick and the he's probably dead, and the acoustic bass. I could say more. Could. I liked when I said centipede, and yeah, that's good. Hi, Chloe. Can you believe I'm with Nardwuar? It's wild, right?